ahead and start my brows already. I just wanted to kind of get as simple as I can with it. I would definitely say for an everyday, either whether it's for school or so, using a pencil would be ideal. I did go ahead with my pomade, it just was a little less heavier than I usually am. I am gonna go ahead and just go with my complexion first. To prime my face, I am gonna go ahead and take my Too Faced Hangover Primer. I think this would be awesome, especially if you're kind of doing this for school, a quick get ready to, go to work, something kind of just to get it on your face, because it's super nice and hydrating. It has coconut water in there, probiotics to kind of wake the skin up, get it nice and refreshed. I usually take just about a pump of this. I just go ahead and take some between my hands and just kind of press it along my face. It smells so good. Next, for my foundation, I'm actually going to use the Too Faced Born This Way. It's the multi-use sculpting concealer, mainly because of the fact that I want this to be a quick on the go kind of thing, and this is just perfect because you can use it as concealer, you can use it as your contour, you can use it as foundation. I mean, the size for the amount you pay is ridiculous. It's like insanely good. So I like this for my quick on the go kind of days where I want to get coverage all over. I do have acne scarring because I'm horrible and I pick at my face all the time, and I really should stop. So this actually gives me enough coverage to cover up my acne scarring, and if you are in your teens, that's probably something that's very common with you. So knowing that you can just grab this and it's quick and easy is just like, thank you, Lord. So I pretty much am just gonna go ahead and dot this all over my face, or swatch it all over my face. Get it all over. This color is a little off sometimes, but when I work with like when I contour and stuff, it kind of comes together. Gonna take my favorite Sephora foundation brush right now, which is the Pro Core Diffuser Angled Brush, the brush number 95. I love this because it really does help blend everything out, but it really does the job, especially if you're trying to create a full coverage look. It just blends everything seamlessly, in my opinion. You can use a beauty blender if you want. I am opting not to, just because I kind of switch. Sometimes I use foundation brushes, sometimes I use beauty blenders. It really depends on my mood, to be quite honest. After I apply my foundation all over, I'm gonna go ahead with my concealer. This is the NARS Radiant Concealer in the shade Caramel. Love this concealer because it pretty much is super, super nice. Beautiful coverage without being too much. And in Zendaya's picture, she doesn't seem like she has a lot going on. So I'm not gonna go crazy with my highlighting, contouring like I usually do. I think I'm just gonna kind of keep it a little bit more muted. As you can see, I am putting it on my eyelids because I'm gonna actually use that as my primer for my shadows. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlight and contour, nothing too crazy. As you can see, usually I add it like all the way up to the heavens, but today I am opting not to. I'm gonna take my Morphe E20 brush and go ahead and blend this concealer out. This is my favorite way to get all of my concealers blended. It just kind of just creates the nice buffing motion, and every single time I use it, it really just helps overall. I'm now gonna go ahead and actually set everything in place before I do my contour. I am gonna use my Airspun. I've been using this for a while now. So far, I really do like it. So just go ahead and get some on the cap. I love to use my Real Techniques. This is actually the contour brush. I love this for adding my setting powder, especially under my eyes or on my eyes, because it's a more tapered brush. So I'm just gonna tap some of the excess off, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that to my eyes, under my eyes, a little on my nose, just kind of get all dusty in here and kind of look wild for a second. Just gonna go ahead and quickly dust everything off and pat it into the skin. I'm going to go ahead and contour. I did realize in the photo, because Zendaya doesn't really seem to contour her forehead. It's mostly more in her cheekbones and her jawline. So I am going to take my Fenty Matchstick in the shade Espresso, and I'm not going to be as heavy-handed as I usually am. So a little tip or trick that I like to use in order to kind of be less heavy-handed is I actually go ahead and do these little circly dots on my face, and pretty much for some reason it just helps me apply less of this, and I'm not going ahead and going too crazy with it. I'm gonna take the Sephora Pro stippling brush to go ahead and kind of blend all of this out. I actually take two brushes to go ahead and blend my contour out. I'm gonna take my Real Techniques sculpting brush and use that to blend it out just a little more. Once I've contoured, and I added a little bit more up here too, because I tend to want more darkness, especially around here on my face. I have such a it's kind of weird. I feel like I have more of an oval shaped face at times. To sharpen the contour, I am going back with the contour brush that I used to set my face with, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of swoop this inward just to kind of chisel out the contour. Zendaya definitely does this because you can kind of see it in some of her pictures, but no shame, no tea, no shame, girl, because it works. And I really like this technique because definitely makes my contour just a little more sharp. Usually while my contour is kind of being set, I do go in with bronzer. I'm gonna take the Anastasia powder bronzer in the shade Mahogany just to add a little bit of color to my face. And this is actually like an old Morphe brush that comes in kind of like the cheaper set. This is actually the only big fluffy brush I have, and I've been wanting to get more, but I always just forget. So just to add a little color to your face. I'm not gonna put blush on. I'm not really a huge blush person to begin with, and in the picture she doesn't really seem like she has much of it. If she does, I need to know what her secret is. I'm gonna kind of keep this neutral and just kind of easy to go, because again, last thing I know I'm thinking about when I'm trying to get out the door is getting blush on. We're gonna go into eyes. I'm taking the Modern Renaissance, the palette that pretty much the whole world has. I will list the colors down below if I do forget to talk about them. If you don't have the Modern Renaissance, definitely use what you have. There are so many colors out there that are similar, and you can always get single shadows. In her look, Zendaya just has a little bit of like brown, but not too prominent. So I am gonna go in with the shade Raw Sienna first, just as kind of like my transition, just because I kind of want to build up the warmth without being too crazy, because again, it is a very simple look. Just gonna go in with a Morphe M535 brush and go right ahead and just kind of build that color ever so slightly on my crease. I am actually thinking of going just a smidge darker. I'm going to go into Cyprus, I always don't know how to say it, umber. I'm gonna take the slightest bit. I am going to literally dip and tap just a little bit because I want to darken the outer corners, because they do seem like they are a little bit darker than this in the photo. I do also have in mind that Zendaya has a lighter complexion than I do, so colors like Raw Sienna may come out a little bit more darker on her complexion. So to achieve the kind of warmer brown, I am going to just go in with that color just very lightly. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of tap that right on my outer corner. As you can see, that is already a good amount. Just going to tap to make sure that I don't have much left over. And I'm gonna go ahead and kind of start to add that into my eye. next, for the actual color on my eyes, I am gonna stick to this palette. I think it's just a lot easier when you're not rummaging around for 50 different things. Take Primavera, which is that pretty little shimmery color in there. I'm not going to be too wild with it, just because, again, she doesn't really have much on her eyes, but this is just going to open it up a little bit more. I'm going to take another Morphe brush, tap the excess off because I don't want it to be so shimmery. I just want it to be kind of the little, I'm going to just go right ahead and tap this all over real quick. I'm also going to show you taking your finger and just adding a little bit and tapping it is just gonna be exactly what you're trying to achieve. To kind of warm it up a little bit, because I feel like there's a lot of lightness coming through, I'm going back with raw sienna, and I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of blend the edges in just a smidge to kind of go back into that nice little smokier, or I shouldn't say smoky, but more of a warmer look instead of letting the shimmer come through too strongly. Another thing that I like to do if I want to tone down the lid color is actually taking the brush that I'm using with the crease and kind of go right over that color real lightly, and it's just going to kind of mask it just a smidge. And it also helps blend everything out so it's not boom prominent. I do want to add a little bit of color towards the bottom lashes, so I'm going to go a little bit with the Cyprus umber mixed with raw sienna. Tap that and go right under the lash line. I'm not going to go all the way just because I still want my, I really just want to go ahead real lightly and just line the bottom lash line so that I can get a little bit more depth. Perfect. For mascara, I'm going to take, this is a little mini one, but I love this mascara and this is the Tarte Light Cameras Lashes. Absolutely love it. It works with me. I am going to be using false lashes for this look, so if you want to just go ahead and add this, you are good. There are no rules broken. Go. So like I said, you can stop there if you want to. For me, I love my lashes. I have to continuously have lashes on. If not, my look is not even a little close to being put together. My favorite lashes of all time are the Huda Beauty Samantha number 7s. These are my babies. I have a crazy stock full of these because I live off of them. I'm constantly ordering them online because my store is always sold out of them. Literally just everything. I am gonna go ahead and pop these on real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my lashes real quick. Just a little disclaimer, these are a little bit more dramatic. Go ahead with my Anastasia Beverly Hills. An older Morphe, I think it's a blush brush. I am gonna take my matte MAC lip in Honey Love. And before I actually do that, I'm gonna moisturize my lips with the Laneige sleeping mask. I'm going to use my Kat Von D Lolita and apply just a little bit over this and kind of mix it together. The setting spray, I'm actually going to go ahead and use my Caudalie Grape Water, which is going to help soothe and moisturize. I love this because it's just so nice and refreshing. So I just go ahead, add a little bit, and I'm just going to let that dry down. So there you guys have it, my completed quick back to school Zendaya. But don't forget to subscribe, you guys. Hit that like button. Also comment and let me know what things you guys want to see. I'm definitely coming up with different ideas, trying to post more, and definitely will come out with more content. But if you guys have a particular video you would like me to do, let me know down below.